Hello, and thank you for finding Upland Unsolved, the show where we try and find interesting and unusual things that are happening within the Upland Metaverse. Now, what is the Upland Metaverse? That is a great question. It is a property trading game that puts real world properties as NFTs, and you can buy, sell, trade those amongst other players. Now, if you are looking for the latest information of what is happening in Upland, you are in the wrong spots. If you're looking for how to play Upland, you are also in the wrong spot. What we're doing is just telling interesting stories about some of those properties within the game itself. Properties that you can own within Upland. Well, this is the very first video of Upland Unsolved, so we are going to look at the very first city ever released in Upland, and that is San Francisco. So fire up your apps, and let's go check out. The address we are looking at today is 445 Geary Street, and I will suggest that you pause it because your app might still be loading. And welcome back. If you paused it and your app is loaded, great. Or maybe I'm just babbling and stalling long enough for you to get your app open. The address one more time is 445 Geary, Geary Street. Now, what is so great about Geary Street? Well, let's check it out within Upland itself before we go and check it out in real life. So Geary, again, is located in San Francisco. It has an up square of 151. It's currently is going probably forever be in the neighborhood, the Tenderloin neighborhood. Current owner is a person named Hasbot. Hasbot has been, I'm assuming, playing the game for a while, and Hasbot is only the second person to ever own this property. The first person to mint the property is a player named QAN31. And QAN31 minted 445 Geary Street, and it looks like they paid 43,648 UPIX for it. So not too shabby. I bet it would get a very good price nowadays. Currently it's not for sale though, and again it's only ever had 2 owners, so I am not sure if Hasbot is ever going to sell it, especially because it is frankly kind of a cool building. Of course, you can find all of these stats at upxland.me, and yeah, it's a great spot to go check out the game. Look for properties and look for sends and all sorts of cool stuff. So I want you to picture this. You are in, now that you've had a look at the property, hopefully you've looked at the street view of it. It's obviously a gorgeous theater, very historical, very old, very ornate, and it is frankly still open to the public today as a theater. So I want you to picture this. You are waiting in line to enter the theater. You have obviously purchased your tickets online because it is 2023, and you show them to the ticket booth, and you are walking through the lobby, and you just want to make sure that you are looking your best. So you look into the mirror, big old mirror inside the lobby, and you look up, and instead of your reflection, what do you see but a handsome young man in 1930s attire? Now, you might think you're going crazy because obviously you're not that good looking. So you kind of look away and you look back, and sadly, maybe disappointingly, maybe glad that person's gone, but it is just back to normal old you. This has been not necessarily a common occurrence, but it happened enough that there are stories about it. Now, the person that you are seeing in that reflection is potentially the ghost of a gentleman named Hewlett Tarr. Now, Hewlett Tarr was a 25-year-old. Uh, he worked at the ticket counter uh, at the Curon Theater. Uh, oh gosh, back in the late 20s and early 30s. Now we're going back way back into the evening of November 28, 1933. And Hewlett Tarr, and here's a picture of Hewlett. It's from his high school yearbook. Uh, so Hewlett Tarr was doing his job, just collecting tickets. Um, and he has at this point been at the theater for 7 years. So he is climbing the ranks. At this point, he is one of the most experienced employees at the theater, and his life's going really well. He has been engaged to his wonderful fiancee for 5 years now, and I understand 5 years is a long time. Hewlett, crap or get off the pot, but he is finally about ready to tie the knot. His and his fiance's wedding is now only a few weeks away. He is looking forward to the end of his shift where he is going to meet his fiancee and go out for dinner. And he is very excited about that. I'm sure they have wedding plans to talk about and, sweet nothings to whisper over their diner dinner for. And so he's, things are going well for him. He apparently worked really hard to get that position after high school. I guess it must have been a pretty good position, kind of a big deal. So congratulations to him. So he is closing up for the night. The last of the patrons are coming to see a revival show called Showboat. Now, it was the first time that Showboat ever aired in San Francisco. And there's only 4 performances left at the Quran Theater. And apparently it was so popular that Northern Californians were just flocking to San Francisco to see this show. Now, how accurate that is, I don't really know. But it was the first time it was seen in San Francisco. So I'm sure as, maybe if you were a movie fanatic, something exciting, something new to see. So Hewlett is handing out the tickets. He is helping people in. He's opening the door. He's making sure they have tickets. And along slinks a 25-year-old electrician turned bandit. This electrician turned bandit is named Eddie Anderson. And Eddie Anderson, oh gosh, when he was finally caught by the police, this was what he told them. And, a little bit of a quote. He needed a lot of easy dough to show my girlfriend the bright lights. I was only getting $14 a week as an electrician, and you can't show a girl all the hot spots on that coin. So Eddie Anderson, whether he's just an idiot or a blowhard or stupid, idiot and stupid, pretty much the same thing, but just horrible person. Eddie Anderson he was already on a robbery streak to begin with. So the Quran Theater was not the first spot he held up in the that month or the previous months. I think Quran Theater was it was one of many spots. Eddie was able to rob $1,500 from local businesses before police really caught up with him, and it was because Eddie murdered Hewlett, and that's kind of what made police take it a little bit more seriously, I think. So in walks Eddie. It's the end of the line. Eddie pulls out a revolver, sticks up robs Hewlett and just shoots him. And Hewlett would get shot and then fall down steps. So, whether the steps or bullet, we don't know, but, the bullet obviously, was the reason he went down the steps. Uh, Eddie later in court would claim that he didn't want to shoot anyone, but the gun would just simply get stuck between the window rails and it went off, killing Hewlett. And he didn't want to do it, but it just happened. Which believe or not believe, he's still there. He still committed the crime. Um, Now, the girlfriend, Eddie's girlfriend, and I say that in quotes, adamantly denied any romance. She revealed that the two had only known each other for about 3 weeks. Interesting fact about the trial was the trial came to an end only 10 days after Anderson's arrest. So 10 days after Eddie got arrested, the jury reached its guilty verdict after discussing it for only 7 hours. It was one of the quickest trials on record in San Francisco. And by late December, which, if you're keeping track, is probably right around the time Hewlett's wedding would have been, Eddie Anderson was sentenced to hang at San Quentin prison. So a very sad story, and since Hewlett's death, a generation of audience members and staff have reported hearing eerie sounds throughout the theater, and there's that claim of seeing the apparition of Hewlett Tarr reflected in the lobby mirrors, where he would have worked, collecting tickets and doing all of that job. So if you are ever there, by all means, check it out. And unfortunately, again, this property is not for sale in the Upland Metaverse. Potentially, you can make an offer. But yeah, thank you for listening to Upland Unsolved. And like, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you can leave a comment, that'd be great. And we will see you in the next video. All right. Thank you. Bye.